Welcome back to Rock Your Best Vocals. If you feel like singing is a very difficult effort for you, I'm going to explain some ways that you can turn it on to easy mode. But first, I'm going to talk about how it seems to be so easy for some people and why it's so unfair for those of us who have to struggle. I saw this video and I was like, this is just like, even though it's like opera, it really resonated with me. Let's listen to what she has to say here. And I'm going to then after that, I'm going to play a performance of myself in a band that I used to perform the rock stuff with, but we did some kind of wedding-y kind of stuff and that, poppy stuff. But I always loved Locked Out of Heaven by Bruno Mars. So I'm going to critique me singing that live, and then I'm going to listen to Bruno actually singing it and kind of go like, what is he doing differently that I was always kind of struggling with? And that's where I hope that it's going to help you, because I'm going to try to help you unlock your singing on easy mode. A big part of easy mode is understanding support. So if you have heard that, support is really important, and you've heard sing with your diaphragm, all this stuff, please click the link below for singing support secrets, and that will give you everything, all of the understanding about support, and it will help you to exercise those muscles. The support muscles is very important to make singing go more on easy mode, because once I started learning more about support, everything started getting easier. Anyway, let's listen to what this lady has to say about this. Is opera, but she's talking about Bocelli, Andrea Bocelli, and she said, anyway, this person says, why do opera singers hate Bocelli? And why do we hate him?
Because we're mad about his success. We're working way harder than him, or at least it feels like that.
Does that sound like you? You're doing everything that, whatever, if you're watching YouTube video, you're doing everything that they're telling you to do, but you're still having difficulty.
But somebody who didn't go through the same system as we went through is having huge worldwide success.
Yeah, so like the fact that I've been going the hard yards singing professionally for over 30 years and being a vocal coach for over 20 years. And I've been like busting my ass trying to sing better. And I've gone through all of that struggle in my life to try and sing better. Every possible pitfall of singing you can think of, I've done. I've fallen down that pit hole onto the spikes of death, bled out completely, and then somehow managed to come back to life. The whole business too much. But let's go look at 2013 Jim performing Locked Out of Heaven.
You guys having fun yet tonight?
Are you guys having fun yet tonight? Okay, so that's proof, I think. That's me. And the crowd went wild. Okay, so I know what I was doing when I was singing this song. I know back then, I was like doing this real kind of forceful singing, like kind of bearing down, if you will. It was like, a lot of this kind of really pushing and struggling and, trying to force this sound out. And I'm going to get into that a little bit later, because when we listen to Bruno, you're going to be like, oh God, he's not like really forcing anything out. It's just kind of flying out of his face. Like, amazing. How can that be so? And we could hear, you see, never wanted to put my heart on the line. I'm like, hunched over, like trying to, on the line. So struggling. I was like, trying to force that up in there, force it up through my nose, because I thought that's where that should happen. Whoa, who's doing that? I remember struggling to hit those heaven because I was like forcing, pushing, instead of just allowing it to heaven, like using my support to lift the note up and out instead of like just trying to force it to come out. I mean, because you could do, like, that was 13 years ago. I mean, 12 years ago. I mean, like, my body was a whole lot different. I could force things a lot more. I think and that was before I had COVID and then Hashimoto's and severe osteoarthritis in my hip. Like, bodies start to break down after a while. But back then I could force more, and it somehow I could like make it, but it was such an effortful endeavor. With this, I mean, it doesn't have to be that way. I mean, I wish I would have known back then what I know now. Singing would have been a lot easier. So this was always a really, really hard part for me. And like a lot of times I would fub it up. Just because it was like, it's quite high. Like, so here we go. And I'm looking back there. I'm looking back at Brian, my guitar player, saying, like, cause he would do the backups and I would always look back and go, you're going to do the backup. You're going to, like, cause it's quite important. You'll hear him do it. See, right there, I was flat there, right? Flat on that part because I'm forcing, like, just so. Then cracking a little bit there. Yeah. Just because I was like forcing, and it's like, rather than how I would sing it now. Whoa, 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 whoa. It can be a lot lighter than I was just forcing. Oh. So there, it's funny at the end of this. Hey, yeah. At the end, when I went up, unbeknownst to me at the time, I would, and this happened like occasionally when I would like use my support in a different way, not a forceful way, but a lifting way. It would like kind of almost like this, like it's the technical term is inhalare la voce, inhale the voice. Okay, so when I'd be doing that, because I know, like, because I couldn't force that at that part, I knew I couldn't force to get up there. I had to like back off the pressure. This is why all of those things like the SOVT things work, like, because you're creating back pressure. So you're creating back pressure above the vocal folds. So that above and below the vocal folds, there's equal pressure, so you're not blowing it all out there. You're kind of creating back pressure. But the way to do that without using like a straw or one of these, kind of any of those, right, is just to hold that back. Like you're inhaling. That's where the term inhalare la voce came from. And, there's the dog cam. So let's get back into this. Hey, yeah. I was lifting up instead of bearing down and hey, yeah. I mean, like you can still get the note out. Like you can still force the note out, but it's forcing. That's hard mode. Hey, that's the end of that.
Thank you. Whoa!
Yeah, whoa, because but whoa. Do you know why whoa? Because I was struggling to get through there. I'm going to play a little bit of Bruno himself doing this. And we're just going to like try to understand what he's doing that makes it so easy for him. Because you could see it was really hard for me. Which, like, I mean, it's... Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. You can hear how he's kind of like it's very light. He's using his tongue placement to kind of really provide some good pharyngeal constriction.
Never had much faith in love or miracles.
So he's like, it's very light. Never had much faith in love or miracles. It's very like it's not forced. Like look at him, he's not. It's easy.
Put my heart on the line.
On the line. So he's not forcing his way through this. It's going to be different for different singers. They're going to have like range has a lot to do with it. So he obviously has a higher range than I do. I'm sure. Like I mean, he's singing it, and it's probably easier for him than it would be for me anyway. But if I'm forcing, it's never going to be easy.
Swimming in your water, something
Yeah, you hear how listen. He's swimming in your water. I'm singing that in falsetto, but the brightness is there. Swimming in your water. So this is where I'm gonna introduce the easy mode thing for you. If you just take the mouth shape of the falsetto, so if you say like swimming in your water. Swimming in your water. So we're gonna sing that a few times. Swimming in your water. Swimming in your water. Something. Swimming in your water. So I'm taking that shape. Everything has to stay the same here. But if you notice, if you try to get louder with that, it will start to kind of break up and get weird because you have to add a bit more support in there. Swimming in your water, something. Swimming in your water. So I'm trying to keep the same shape here. Swimming in your water. Swimming in your water. So I'm really having to just support, like I'm lifting up, like almost as if you're like, if you're pretending like to like suck in your gut, like if you're going to take a photo and you're like sucking in your gut. That's what, to me, it's feeling like when I'm trying to support that falsetto. Swimming in your water, swimming in your water, something spiritual. But keeping that same, it's a nice bright, swimming in your water, something spiritual. Also helps to have a open back of the mouth. Open up the back of the like nice big resonant space. Swimming in your water, something spiritual. Let's kind of move on to that high part where we're saying like really have that difficulty. That's about halfway through the song. You can see how he turns his head away from the microphone because obviously he's getting a little bit louder, right? So he's going to have to turn his head a little bit away from the microphone. So he is giving it a bit more push, and that's what you have to do when you're supporting into. You have to give it a bit more push. It's going to get a bit more volume. It's like you're not breathy. You can't be breathy on that. It'll just, your vocal folds will just blow apart and you'll crack and all hell will break loose in your throat. So we don't want that. We just want to maintain, have a good, nice, good vocal fold closure. And we want to lift up on this lightness. And he's got a little bit of grip right there. Can I just stay here? He's getting the kind of upper constrictors involved to get that. Can I just stay here? Oh, it's the dog cam. The dog is awake. Oh, look. Oh, okay. Little scratchies. Yes. Oh, shakies. Let's go back to this. If you look at here on it, he's lifting up here. Watch his body lift up. Yeah. So he's like lifting everything up. He's not bearing down and not trying to force a note out. Allowing, lifting up, and letting it come out. So he's going into a falsetto. It's not that much different. Like it's not. He's just supporting through that.
'Cause you
this-
make me feel like I've been.
So he's got a little bit of power in there, but it's still quite light, head voicey.
out of heaven for too long.
See the way he, for too long. So he's taking that, no heaviness on his voice. For too long. So he's easy mode.
For too long.
Wow, fantastic. Okay, so now you see how, dog cam, now you see what it takes to go from hard mode to easy mode. This kind of lifting the pressure off, not this kind of pushing and bearing and forcing and all this sort of stuff that sometimes vocal coaches say things like that. They may be good singers, and the problem with that is they may be good singers not as a result of them doing that, but maybe that's what they think they were doing. Because I know when I was singing that, I thought that I was doing the right thing. Like I know when I was singing that up on stage, like I thought I was doing, I knew it was a struggle, but I knew like, I mean, at the time I was like, okay, I can sing it. It's like, it's great. Like, fine. I can get through the song, but I know that it was a struggle. So don't be on hard mode. Go to easy mode, please. Like and subscribe. See you on the next one. Rock your best vocals where your best keeps getting better. Thanks.